everyone, this is Ieasha of the Live Designs by Ieasha. Welcome back to my channel. Well, today I am making some chicken and dressing. So I have celery, which I have already cut up. Cut off the stalk. I have the stalk that I cut, and now I have cut it up, and I'm just about to chop it up. I've already done some of them, and that's how it looks. All right. And I have an onion that I haven't chopped yet, but I will be cutting that and showing you how to do it. I have my cornbread, which I will link in the card section above, where me and my husband, we had a cornbread cook-off, and it was so much fun. It was a family fun, and you know I'm all about family fun. So I will be linking that in the card section above, so you can go and check that video out if you didn't see that. All right, and I have my eggs. I have my black pepper, a little salt that I will be putting over in my dressing, and I have some leg quarters, and I will be also linking that how I cleaned the leg quarters in the YouTube cards above also. So let's get started chopping this celery. All right, and again, this celery will be going into my dressing, and of course you will need a knife in order to chop up your celery and onions. Some people may put different things in their dressing, but normally I just keep it simple with the celery and onions. Okay, so as you see, I have finished chopping up my celery, as you see right here. And again, this is for my dressing. So now I have peeled my onion, and now I'm just gonna cut it up and just prepare it for my dressing. You know, it's different ways of chopping an onion, and this is the way I do mine. I just cut it like this first, and then I just chop it. Okay? And I don't like these little ends here. Okay? Alright, so all I do is just chop, chop, chop. Because I don't want huge pieces of onion in my dressing. So I am done chopping up my onions, and all I'm gonna do is add them over in with my celery. Okay, and I have my cornbread already ready, my chicken leg quarters, and I have a stick of butter and my eggs. I will be putting 8 to 10 eggs in my dressing, and the recipe I got was from my mom. Like I said, my mom did a lot of cooking. She made a lot of things from scratch. So before she passed away, I was able to get her how she made her dressing, because I really love it. And she always fixed her dressing. She didn't like dry dressing, if you know what I mean. The ones that is not moist. So she said to make it moist, you put more eggs in it. So that's why she used to put 8 to 10 eggs in her dressing. Okay, so I still have how she made it. I wrote it down, and she did cornbread, chicken, 8 to 10 eggs, celery and onion, which I have right here, salt and black pepper, a stick of butter, and she worked it together and poured it into a greased pan. So I have my pan, and I'm going to be greasing my pan, so I'm going to show you all that also. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, so what I did, I have already crumbled up my cornbread, as you see right here, and I just put it in this big pot. Alright, so now I boiled my leg quarters. I have some leg quarters that I boiled, and I am going to be using the chicken juice from the chicken, and I'm just going to take this and pour it into my cornbread. All right, And this is what also helps to make it juicy. Alright. So all I'm going to do is take it and just pour it directly into my cornbread. Just like so. Alright. So I'm not going to pour all of it right now. Alright, so now since it's hot, I have a spoon, and all I'm going to do is just stir it up. Okay, just stir it up. Normally I would go into it with my hand, but I'm not going to do it because it's hot. Alright, so as you see how it looks, it's very moist. And this is how you make your, this is how I make my dressing. Alright, so I'm just going to add just a little bit more of the juice from the chicken. Like I said, I don't want it dry. Okay, so I'm just going to stir that up. Just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to be adding my eggs. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to add 10 eggs to mine. Let's make 9, and one more makes 10, okay? All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir this up, stir the eggs up really well. Okay, and I have my crumbled up cornbread, and I have the juice from the chicken backs or the chicken leg quarters already in here, and I just added 10 eggs, okay? Okay, so now I'm going to add my onions and celery that I cut up. I'm just going to add them directly into my cornbread mixture here. And I'm just going to get all of it out. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stir this in. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to be adding the chicken in from my chicken leg quarters. And I have the chicken here. And I should have went ahead and pulled it apart, pulled it off the bone. So I will be back once I pull it off the bone. Okay, so as you see, I have peeled the chicken off the chicken leg quarters that I had. And this is just chicken only, no fat. So what I'm going to be doing is just chopping a little bit of it up in the dressing. All right. So I just got my knife and I'm just chopping it just like this. Okay. And you can put it in whole if you want to. Your chicken, you can just shred it and just put it in there if you don't want to chop it. Okay, so as you see, I have already added my chicken in. All right. And now I'm just going to add a little salt. Don't have to put a lot, but just make sure it's seasoned. All right. So now I'm going to add my black pepper in. just gonna add a tad bit of seasoning salt to mine, just to give it a little bit more seasoning. All right, so I'm gonna stir. And if you want to, make sure you taste it. You always want to just taste your food just to make sure it is seasoned. Okay, because you can always add seasoning, but you can't take it away. So just make sure you taste it before you just add too much seasoning, okay? Okay, so now I have a stick of butter. And what my mom used to do, she used to just put the whole thing in there and just let it melt while it was cooking. But I'm just going to chop mine. Just kind of, you know, put it into pieces over in my dressing, just like this. I'm just going to cut it up. And of course it will melt as it cooks in the oven. And again, I have my oven set on 375. Okay, I'm going to be cooking it low. All right. And the butter just give it a little added flavor, as well as you know, keep it from being just so dry also. All right, so now what I'm going to do is just stir that up over in the, mix it in really well. All right, so now what I'm going to do to keep your dressing from sticking to your pan, always grease your pan. Be using is this cooking spray I have, and I'm just going to spray it all over in my pan, even on the side, really well, okay, because you don't want it to stick. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to mix it up again, and I'm going to go back through just to make sure I have everything in it. I have the cornbread, crumble it up. I boiled the chicken leg quarters, poured the juice in the chicken to make it juicy, and I cut some chicken up in it. All right, I used 10 eggs. I added my celery and my onion, some salt and black pepper, a stick of butter, worked it together, and I greased my pan. So now what I'm going to be doing is taking this, and this is chicken and dressing, and I'm going to be adding it to my pan to put in my 375-degree oven, okay? Just add a little bit more spray. Okay, so I'm going to put the timer on for 30 minutes. I'm going to check on it every 30 minutes because I don't want it to overcook, but I want it to make sure it gets really done. So I'm going to put it on for about, I'm going to say 40 minutes. 40 minutes, and I'm going to check it at 40 minutes and just keep a check on it every now and then just to make sure it's not burning or anything. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it, I'm just going to pour it over into my pan. All right, just like this. All right, make sure you get everything out. All right, everything is out. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and place it in the oven. Then I will come back once it's done to let you see how it looks. All right, everyone, so now my chicken and dressing is done. And as you can see how it turned out, it looks really good. I'm gonna let you get a close-up look and see how moist it is. It's not dry. All right. All right, so now I have showed you all how I fix my chicken and dressing. And if you would like to fix your chicken and dressing like this, then you can just look and see all the ingredients I add, which is cornbread. I did my celery, my onion. I did 10 eggs. I added butter. I also added chicken from the chicken leg quarters that I had. All right, I put a little bit of salt and black pepper in, a stick of butter, and I worked everything together and poured it into my greased pan, which is this aluminum pan right here that my husband purchased from Sam's. All right, and you see how it looks on the ends. You see how crisp it is. around the edges. So I put it on in a 375-degree oven for right at an hour. You know, just keep a check on it because you don't want it to just get cooked. You don't want it to get overdone, okay? You want it to get done, but you don't want it to be overdone or burn or anything, okay? So this is perfect. So I thank you all for watching. Don't forget to leave me a comment below and just let me know if you decide to fix this dressing. And just let me know how you like it. All right, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. And make sure you subscribe to my channel. And make sure you share this video with anyone who is a cook, someone who would like to learn to cook, because I gave you the everything that I use to make this. So I thank you all for watching. I hope that you all have a great and wonderful and blessed day. And I will see you all on my next video. Bye.